welcome back to the Antisocial Planet, and today we are watching episodes 55 and 56 of Bleach. So, big things have been happening in the last couple of episodes. One being Zedeki fighting Tosen and doing a pretty good job of that. I didn't know how much we were going to see of Zedeki's fight because there's so much going on with other confrontations that have been set up throughout this arc. So it was nice to kind of not completely leave that, and we get to explore what those captains that Zedeki is fighting, what their power set is and their abilities. So we got to see Tosen and his cool kind of anti-sensory dome thing that he made where people can't see or hear anything. They have to rely on their sense of touch. And Zedeki, being the crazy fighter person that he is, was like, well, I can tell where he is if he stabs me, so let's just let that happen, and then I'll know where he is. And I'm sure if it had been anybody else, that would have been an awful thing to do, but for Zedeki, it was like the most effective way for him to win the fight. And now he is fighting one of the other captains, who is a fox to some degree. I'm not really sure what the story is behind that one, but his face is a fox. So, we'll see where that ends up. I mean, I like his power because we got to see his Benkai, which is like this huge kind of warrior avatar Power Ranger-esque thing. But I'm interested to see what the story is behind him being different, like, in that way where he is, like, fox in some way. I don't even really know what he is exactly, besides, like, a Soul Reaver. That opens up the possibility of, like, other creatures, other species, other things having those abilities too, and like expanding kind of the possibility of that kind of stuff being out there. That's happening on the side. And then, of course, most importantly, we have Rukia's execution, which was beautifully crashed by a bunch of people who are on Rukia's side. Her captain, and some of the other captains, and some of the lieutenants, and just, like, squad members who are like, will not stand for this. And, of course, my boy Ichigo showing up in the last minute, stopping the execution from happening. Got the new outfit on, which is he's got, like, a cape now. It's very Ishida. I like that. He's got a cool cape on now. And honestly, just the look on Rukia's face when she realized that she'd been rescued and that Ichigo was there and that there were all these other people who were there for her, it just made my heart feel warm. I loved it so much because she was in such a dark place for, like, this whole arc, because she got captured at the end of the substitute Shinigami arc, and even before that she was, like, out of it because she didn't feel like she fit in, and, like, she was trying to figure out how she could go back, but she didn't really want to go back to the Soul Society. So it was, you know, a lot of time with us spending with kind of Rukia being stuck in her own head, being stuck in her own thoughts, and to have kind of that moment where she realized that there were all these people around her that cared so much about her and, like, wanted to protect her and help her and have her continue to be a part of their lives, was just such a sweet moment. Such a sweet moment. And then, of course, my boy Renji swooping in, being alive, being mostly healed, coming to help out Rukia. Loved that he, one, survived with the help of Hanamaru. The healing ability is also alluded to the captain of Squad 4 helping heal his wounds too. We know that she is definitely empathetic towards Rukia being set free and kind of questioning some of the stuff that's been going on. Renji has Rukia, they're making a break for it. Ichigo is taking care of the captains and lieutenants that want to put a stop to Rukia escaping. I think that the rest of the gang, you know, Ishida, Orihime, Shadow, Ganju, related other characters that we picked up along the way, are going to find Renji and Rukia as they're like heading out, and they're gonna help kind of pave the way out. And then we have Ichigo, who's kind of, you know, creating a barrier between people trying to go after her and friends. Most notably, Byakuya, who, you know, we've been waiting for the whole arc, the whole Soul Society arc, for the Ichigo versus Byakuya moment, I think. You know I have. We all knew it was coming. We all knew what, like, that would have to be part of the end of the arc, right? Like, we all knew that that was, like, part of what all this was leading up to. And I am so excited. I'm so excited because, like, there's been so much setup to this moment, and it's finally gonna pay off for me. But also, Ichigo, before showing up at the last minute, was working on releasing his Benkai, and I, personally, am loving the Benkai. They're so cool to me. I love them as, like, a power mechanic thing. They look cool. I like the fights with them. So, I want to see Ichigo's Benkai, and we didn't get to see the end of his training, so I assume we're going to get some flashbacks to that, where he's still with Yoruichi and their training that they were doing, which is going to, one, show us what his Benkai is, or whether or not he's actually unlocked it yet, because I do think it is a possibility that he just sort of rushed in, and he was like, I'll figure out the last bit of how to release my Benkai when I get there, because, you know, Ichigo isn't much of a planning kind of a person. He's more of a let's run in and improvise once we get there. So that is a possibility, but I'd like to believe that he already has his Benkai worked out enough that he knows how to release it before he picked a fight with Byakuya, just for, like, my own stress levels. But also, I have my theory that something else has been unlocked in him, some other ability has been awakened within him, because there's all of these little hints that have been set up that there's something particularly special when it comes to the abilities that Ichigo has. Not just because he's the protagonist of a shonen, but also, like, we have, like, specific markers, like the Hollow Mask showing up a few times, like White Ichigo when he goes into his internal world, the amount of power he's able to draw into himself. So I think that there's definitely going to be some other ability that not even the Soul Reapers, the captains, have any idea about. So that's exciting too. I don't know if it'll come out in this fight or if it'll even come out this arc, because there's still a lot of show left. But it's definitely something I think is, like, starting here and is going to, like, progress as the show goes along. We're gonna see a fight. That's what I know is gonna happen. We're probably gonna see the end of Zedeki's fight. We're gonna see Ichigo versus Byakuya. Maybe we'll see Renji versus some other people that he meets along his way breaking out. I mean, there's still quite a few episodes left in the arc, so we've got lots of time to fight all the people, I guess. But with that, we will get into episode 55. In 3, 2, 1, go. Yes. I know you're a Soul Reaper. I'm just like so excited for this. I had to wait a day to actually sit down and watch it. I'm so ready. I'm probably not ready. I'm ready for what's about to come, and I'm probably not ready. But I've been waiting for this fight. So I feel like the next there's like 10 episodes left in the arc. I feel like they're all gonna be pretty intense. I feel like a lot of people are gonna fight each other because there's like this divide in the Soul Society and like with the squads between like people who are like, you know, following the system and those who are like going rogue and helping Rukia and Ichigo and, you know, destroying things. So, show me the fight. Show me Bankai. Look at his epic outfit. Okay, but like, shout out to how much Ichigo has grown. Can we just acknowledge that? From like first couple of episodes Ichigo to like where he's at right now. Proud of him for the growth. So I'm just gonna have to fight Yamamoto, right? I'm assuming. Because he's the top, right? I feel kind of bad that like these these lieutenants didn't really get a chance to like show their full capabilities because Ichigo is just plowing through them. Fight! Fight, 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 fight! Because they're friends. Sometimes begrudgingly, but they're friends. It's a good question. Ooh, good animation with the reflected faces and the blades. It's a cool way of framing the shot. You can do this, Ichigo! Look at that smirk. Execute her yourself. You need to calm down, boy. Oh no, his cape! It's a good point. Also a good point. You're both pretty loud. True. Yeah, that's not the way he sees it. Trust me, if he didn't want to be doing this, he would not be doing it. He's very stubborn. Yeah, you got friends. Ah, yeah, that's like I was saying, like, all of the stuff only works because everybody's helping together. It's a group of people helping each other, not just like one person trying to do everything. Ah, they're so cute. Oh, hello, Captain Lady. Who else is joining? And so the infighting happens. He's trying to protect them. That also seems like a possibility. Especially since Ichigo and Byakuya are also fighting there. There's you don't want to space out the fighting before you kind of create a bunch of chaos. Ooh, why? She wasn't doing anything. Girl, calm down. Yoichi! Beat her up! Ooh! Yep. Oof. Ooh, what's that though? Where did you come from? Flying stingray? With feet? Ooh, gross. But like efficient, I suppose. Is that her Benkai? I don't know if I would like that. Being swallowed by a spiritual stingray. Where's that? Ooh. So there's been a bit of fighting. Uh, recent or is this from one of the other fights? I never know anymore. There's been a lot of property damage. Oh, way to keep up. So they picked a fight where a battle had already happened so that they don't have to worry about hurting anyone. Well, that's not reassuring. Oh dear. So he's a little bit powerful, one might say. Oh, poor thing. Yeah, the odds don't look amazing on that, uh, for that particular fight. Were they? That's interesting. Interesting that they would be so quick to go against orders then. Especially since they would have known that this would be the outcome, right? Like that they would have to fight him. I want to see how his Sanpakuto works though. Look at him trying to get out of a fight again. He's surprisingly passive for like a captain. I don't know. I feel like a good conversation, a good discussion, and sharing of perspectives is always welcome. But this is a shonen, so I feel like it is going to be solved with violence. Ooh, wow, the scars, though. I assume there's a story behind those. But, I mean, maybe we never find it out, and it's just like he's a good fighter, and I assume from the fact that he is also very old that he would have to be a very good fighter because to survive as long as he has. Like, because he's old even by like Soul Reaper standards, right? And they live for a very long time. So I'm assuming he's been around a while and he's won a lot of fights. I don't love the crunching noise though. Yeah, I think you guys might have to get a tad more invested in this fight than you are at the moment in order to win. Or at least last a bit. Because, I don't think it'll be an easy one. uh, it's such an interesting, like, breaking point, though, in the story. Because there's been all of this, like, chaos and kind of, like, confusion and stuff leading up to this point, and now people are really, like, being forced to pick sides, and it's causing all of this, like, infighting and stuff, and people who, knew each other really well, or in this case, like, were taught by Yamamoto having to, like, fight him and go against what his wishes are, what his orders are, what he thinks is right. So it's causing, like, this, the rift is finally, like, cementing itself in the Soul Society, whereas before it was just kind of like, starting to show the cracks. We're gonna see uh Yoroichi fight as well. So yeah, this feels like really, like, we've seen all of these kind of fissures of forming. We've seen all of this, like, conflict or, like, animosity that's kind of been there between the captains and the lieutenants and stuff like that. With everything that's been going on, there's been a lot of tension building up and throughout this arc in the background. And I feel like this is really the point where, like, there's a proper fissure and, like, people have to decide which side they're going to be on. And, like, that's the side that's, like, going to follow their orders and follow the system that they're part of, and those that are going to choose their own morality, their own justice, their own ideals, that kind of a thing, even if it goes against that system that they're a part of. It's interesting that we're kind of getting all of these little bubbles of conflict as people kind of branch off and, like, pair off and stuff. It's less of a, like, big epic battle, like, singular, and it's more like all of these smaller battles that are more, like, reflective of the own characters' conflicts and, like, their own independent clashing of what their ideals are and what their beliefs are. I think it'll be a really cool way of seeing some of these characters that I haven't really seen fight or haven't properly been introduced to fully, to get a chance to see them kind of fight one-on-one and have like the motivation for that fight be not like, oh, I'm following orders, I've been sent specifically to fight you. Instead, it's like my morality, my morals, my ideals are opposing to yours. And like that's like a more interesting motivation in my eyes than just someone doing it because that's their orders. Like we had Shinsu, I think is the captain with the flowery kimono and the hat. We had him fight Shadow. And when that fight happened, neither of them actually wanted to fight each other. They fought each other because Shadow was trying to get to Ichigo and Shinso was there to stop him. And like, you know, Shadow was just trying to get to his friend. Shinso was just following his orders to prevent the intruders from getting farther. But neither of them really had any like individual motivation to fight specifically each other. Whereas like in this case where Shinso is fighting Yamamoto, there's more of a personal motivation behind that. Like, he's fighting him partly because Yamamoto is picking a fight with him. He seems like a very passive person and would have not chosen not to fight if that had been an option, but also like he's opposing Yamamoto and what Yamamoto is like choosing to stand for in this particular conflict. And like having more of that personal motivation for a fight, I find is so much more intriguing. And it makes it not just like a fight. It's not like, I'm sure it's going to be an epic fight. I'm sure it's going to look cool. I'm sure there's going to be some cool abilities and animation moments. I'm sure that that's going to be part of it too. But it's also going to be a great expression of character and like who all of these people are as we get to see them be in these like more personalized fights. Like even Ichigo fighting Byakuya, those are opposing beliefs on what is going on. So Byakuya has his own reasons, I'm sure, for why he's on the side of Rukia being executed and like why he feels so strongly about why that would be. And he alluded that there is something deeper than what we currently understand. So he has his ideas, and Ichigo is very much in the mind of like family and, you know, people you care about first. That's always been how he is. Like he was like, no, I don't want to be part of this Shinigami thing. I don't want to be part of this Soul Reaper thing. I don't want to be part of this whole issue that Rukia is part of. Like, I don't want to get involved if I don't have to. And then, you know, he's grown a lot as a person to go to the point where like he understands that now that he has that power, that he has the ability to help lots more people, he has to take that opportunity. Like as the way that his morality works, like Ichigo is incapable of not helping someone who is in need when he has the ability to do so. Ichigo is coming from that perspective, and Byakuya, I'm sure, has a bunch of complicated things in terms of like loyalty to his family, his clan, to tradition, to like the structures that he has around him. It probably goes deeper. There's probably something else there, but that feels kind of like where his character comes from. And so there's kind of this opposing thing. Like Ichigo would never give up protecting those that he cares about for like anything. Like you could have two important people. Like you could have both of his sisters in danger and someone be like, you can only save one of them, which one do you save? And Ichigo would be like, both, even if it kills me. Like I would sacrifice myself before I allowed the possibility that I couldn't save both of my sisters, right? So like that's how Ichigo's brain works. So, you know, that fight isn't just going to be interesting because they have cool abilities and we're going to get to see some, you know, some really powerful people fight each other, not just because we've had this whole setup for like the last, what, 40 episodes almost of, setting up that they were going to fight each other. Those things are part of the reason that their fight is going to be really cool too to watch unfold. But I feel like those opposing like core beliefs is what is going to make that fight as interesting as it's going to be. And like I like that we're getting that kind of dynamic with other conflicts that are happening simultaneously too. So yes, I guess we'll just watch episode 56 now. I don't know where I was gonna go with that. And to transition nicely. Let's watch episode 56. In 3, 2, 1, go. I wonder which fight. I mean, we saw in the preview that we're gonna see Yoruichi's fight, which I think will be pretty cool because we haven't really seen the full extent of what she's capable of. And we haven't seen a lot of the captain that she's fighting. And I guess we're gonna go back to, like, the whole Yamamoto fireball thing that is happening. So... oh no! What is Toshiro doing? What's he up to? Who's he picking a fight with? Because he wasn't at the execution. I mean, I guess he's not as, like, emotionally invested in Rukia specifically. He's more attached to the whole Aizen murder thing. So, I assume he's doing something related to that. Which I would still like some kind of answer for. I still stand by my observation that it's always a good time for words. I feel like most of the time people don't talk enough to each other. They assume that people can, like, interpret their actions or how they feel, and a lot of the time it's not as obvious as you think it is. So you should just say how you're feeling or what you're thinking about. It makes things a lot easier. Communication is key. But I'm sure they're gonna fight. Yeah, you guys might want to release your Zanbakuto. Maybe. You seem in a good mood. Did you win your fight? With your crazy, like, long-distance Zanpakuto? How are we doing, Zedeki? Was it a good fight? Did you have fun? They fled. Oh. Because they can feel his energy? Oh, you got it left behind? He's like twirling in the background. He stopped to change his clothes. Poor fellow. You look a little rough in comparison. Yeah, I was like, he look actually did have some scratches on him though. Just like the fact that he's healed now. He drained you. Yeah, there's a situation unfolding. Some stuff that has gone down in the meantime. He's going all out though. So it's only in Shikai. It's not quite all out. A fire type Zanpakuto. So there are types, elemental types. Is this kind of like how Toshiro's is like water and ice? Are there like earth ones then? Air ones? Or is it not that like neat in the way that things are categorized? Isn't he still sick? What happened to the like shield and staff like thing that he released in order to like stop the execution? I maybe it got destroyed when they destroyed the other weapon, right? His Zanpakuto's cool though, with the twin blades. Ooh. They both have like dual weapons. Ah, okay. They're the only duels of Pakuto, at least within the Soul Society. That's cool. I'm not sure if that was a compliment, but you can take it as one. Life's what you make of it, right? I think someone's gonna notice what's happening. Hello again. It's only been 5 days? What an exhausting 5 days. Is that who I think it is? Yeah! She coming back? Is she gonna help out? More people coming to help out Ichigo and friends. Oh. Is something that Yoroichi set up? Some plans happening in the background? I want to see her fight. And not just like toying with Byakuya. I want to see her really fight. That poor leaf. Just minding its own business. A sass. Yeah, isn't the little thing that he had around the neck uh was like the crest of Yoruichi's like family or whatever? Okay, so it's one of the like four big clans, right? So she was part of one of those clans. She's a successor, that's right, because Yoruichi was the commander of the South Squad, wasn't she? Oh, hello. It's a lot against one person, though. Ooh, she is really fast, though. They're gonna have to do better than just pure numbers. Good luck with that. I mean, I want to believe that Yoruichi is the better warrior, but she also mentioned that like her abilities have like lessened because she hasn't used them as much, right? Oh dear. Is it like a poison of some kind that comes from like being attacked with her shikai? Oh, are we running away? At least for now? Oh dear. Ooh. Hey. They're both very aerobatic. in the way that they fight. Why is it so important to you to prove that you're stronger than other people? That's what I want to know. Like, why the vendetta? I mean, maybe because Yoroichi was uh the commander of the Cell Squad before her, so like she has to live up to the reputation, right? She seems fairly innovative when it comes to techniques, though. Oh dear. So she still has some tricks. Not as innovative as she thought. Huh. You look pretty happy to use it, though. Oof. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. This technique being introduced, though, just makes me more interested in keto. I've always really liked the potential of it, so it's cool to see more examples of it, because kind of the only keto technique that we really got to see a lot of was Ganju's, which he was really good at like utilizing in a fight. And we saw a little bit of it with Byakuya when he was using those straining techniques. But we've seen mostly Zanpakuto based like abilities and stuff. So I like that we're getting to kind of see how the different techniques can be like mixed together and utilizing different techniques like in succession, right? Ooh, we're gonna get some backstory. Oh dear. So we got a little bit with Shunsu and Yukitake, who are the captains that are fighting Yamamoto. in that we got to see their Shinkai being released, and that they're the only ones that have the dual Zanpakuto, which is really cool. I never would have thought that like a Shinkai would like end up with double blades. Like I felt like because a lot of the Shinkai is like based on like the actual weapon that is already there, and then like the Zanpakuto takes on like a different form, but it's the basic shape is still there. Whereas like in this case, it's like actually like duplicating itself, which is like slightly out of like what I thought the limitations were for Zanpakuto. I'm not mad about it though. I think the twin blades are cool. And the fact that only those two are known to have them in the Soul Society means that like it's not usually how it works. So like it doesn't drastically change the way that like my perspective on Zanpakutos work, especially since like they were like I guess trained specifically by Yamamoto, so they probably have like they're probably really strong in their own right and have like specific training based on that and stuff, which would be different than some of the other captains and Soul Reapers underneath that. We got to see Jinbando again, who is the Soul Reaper that Ichigo fought the first one when they were trying to just get like past the first gate, which last time we saw him, he was horribly injured by Gin for losing to Ichigo. So we saw that he is all healed up, and we got to see Ganju's sister again, who is, you know, kind of banding together with him, and it looks like they're going to get involved in the whole Soul Society fight thing that happens. Some kind of plan that has been worked out with Yoruichi in advance. So looks like we're gonna get some more characters that we've befriended along the way getting back into the main storyline. And you know, we got to see some cool fighting techniques with this captain. So fun. I'm not quite sure of her name, but she has some cool fighting techniques, but like with the like hand thing that like leaves specific death marks on people. It kind of fits with like her being the commander of like the stealth squad thing, because it's a little bit more like specifically like hands-on fighting style, but it's also it feels more stealthy in the way that it works, in that you can kind of like hit your opponent once and then like the next hit is enough to kill them based on like the like magic and stuff that you're putting into it, as opposed to like using blunt force to harm someone. Her fighting style fits with the position that she like excels in. Has a lot of animosity towards most people in general. She's part of like the punishment, I don't know exactly what it would be called, but she's in charge of punishment in the Soul Society too, which fits her, but like in an enabling kind of way. She seems to revel in proving that she's stronger than people. Like she has kind of that like bully mentality, in that like a bully picks on people that they know that they can beat. Like they pick on people that they know they can win against because they like feeling strong. And she has a similar mentality of like she likes to pick fights with people that she knows she can win at, and like so that she can feel more empowered in herself. Like when she was attacking one of the members of Squad 13 in the last episode, where she was like kicked her in the head and then was like crushing her chest, and had like a very uncomfortable glee in being able to do that, even though like she wasn't the other Soul Reaper wasn't doing anything to really justify that being how things escalated. So she does have that very like bully's mentality, and like she wants to feel more powerful by hurting other people, which I don't love. I don't love that she's a captain who's in charge of people. That makes me uncomfortable. Imagine being part of her squad. She very much wants to be Yoroichi because Yoroichi had the stealth squad thing, commander of that. So she had that position before. So I feel like she feels she has to defeat Yoroichi. She has to win this battle to like prove that she deserves the spot. Because Yoroichi didn't she didn't lose the spot. She wasn't like outdone, and that's why she didn't have it anymore. Like Zedeki won his position as a captain of one of his squad because he like challenged and killed the previous one. So like that's how he earned that spot. Whereas like Yoroichi didn't have like that kind of a confrontation. She left. She chose to give up that spot. So I feel like beating Yoroichi is like a way of her proving that she deserves the spot. Like it's not that she was just like a replacement, that she wasn't just like a stand-in for Yoroichi, that she's actually better than her. But Yoroichi seems to still have some tricks up her sleeve. So I like this mixture of the like Kido and some other stuff that was going on, channeling the energy through like the shoulders and the back and arms and stuff. I think that there's going to be some serious fighting going down. I feel like Yoroichi was trying to, win the fight by putting like the least amount of effort possible into it. Like I feel like she didn't want to pull out all of her tricks, because she has been outside of conflict for like 100 years, I think is what they said. And also like I feel like she's not the kind of person who like wants to give up all their tricks. Like I feel like she wants to keep some stuff kind of hidden away as like surprises and to only use when she has to. So I feel like she's really starting to be serious about the confrontation now, and is kind of pulling out some of those tricks that she has to win the fight. And it looks like in the next episode we're going to kind of continue that fight, but we're also going to get some more of Ichigo versus Byakuya, which we didn't see as much of as I thought we were going to. But I mean, there's lots of fights happening and I'm not mad about it. And also it's like this huge fight that's been set up, so like they probably want to draw it out a little bit from like a pacing and plotting thing. I mean, it's working because I want to keep watching the show, so mission accomplished. So I hope you guys had fun watching along with me. If you did, you can like the video, you can subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss future reactions to Bleach and other things. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!